Hey everybody, Seven here, and I've been seeing a lot of questions about the animal mechanics and how they function and what produces what. So I'm going to dive in and explain a little bit about what animals do and how they operate. Over here is the horse stall. Now the horse stall and the donkey stall are identical in the fact that the only thing that they produce is more of their kind. You can station up to 4 horses or 4 donkeys in them, and the only thing that producing a worker here does is it allows them to continue to reproduce and to feed them, essentially. Now, the feed that they go through isn't particularly great, so if you don't have a person here, you can relatively easily manually feed the horses that are here, especially if you only got the one, just for your own personal transportation. The pig hut over here, the only function that this serves is to actually produce manure. Now, they will not produce any manure that goes to your storage box unless you actually have a worker here and have assigned an actual percentage to their thing. The only reason to not have anything less than 100% would be if your storage chest is overflowing on manure and you don't have enough farmers to handle the manure and convert it into fertilizer. But given that my farm workers are handling more than enough manure, in fact I'm running out frequently, I just keep this at 100% altogether. As with all animal houses, they will not reproduce if you do not have a worker here. Next up is the chicken and goose house. These are identical in the fact that they produce 2 items, both being feathers and eggs. Now, obviously, only the female chickens will produce eggs, as the male chickens do not lay eggs. Same with the geese. Common biology there. Again, as with all animal husbandry buildings, nothing will be produced if there is no worker assigned to this location. The worker feeds them, collects their resources, and deposits them in the respective storage units. The feathers going into the resource storage, the eggs going into the food storage. The only important designation to note between chickens and geese is that there was recently an update where they altered the feather production and the egg production on both of these animals. So if you're going for a more kitchen-oriented production build and play style, you'll need more chicken houses, as the chickens currently produce far more eggs than the geese do, and the geese provide far more feathers than the chickens do. So if you're going for a heavy blacksmith build, and you're going with a lot of bolts and arrows that you're producing for sale, then you'll need geese instead. Okay, so now on to the 2 icons that I neglected to cover in my what in the world? Good morning. So now on to the 2 icons that I neglected to cover in my what does this icon mean video. If you haven't seen that, I can put a card up for it so you can check it out now. And if you have seen that video, my deepest apologies, as that definitely should not have been that long. In fact, I didn't even realize how long it was until I received a comment asking, why is this video an hour long? I didn't even realize it was that long until I covered it. Should have definitely been broken in half, as there was a clear division between all of the upper left icons are town related, and all of the lower left icons are personal to Rasimir, or if you're playing as the heir. So if we go up to the hen house here, we can manage this just like we would a house or any other place of business. So we can look here, and if we can displace or move any of these animals, we will start seeing some of these icons. Let's take this rooster, and we'll just remove him altogether. Now this does not delete the rooster. In fact, the rooster will still be walking around the town here, and you'll be able to actually see it. It just makes him so that he's not assigned to this building. And you'll see up in the upper left-hand corner, we now have 2 brand new icons. We have an animal icon that does not have a house, and we have an animal icon that does not have food. Those are the first and second icons. We can also walk over to my currently empty test building over here, and we can just steal a different chicken from one of these other houses. Now you see the icon for no food has jumped up to 2, but the icon for homeless chickens is still only at 1. This is because there is no worker here, and I have not dumped any feed in the trough. Now because there is no worker over here, this chicken will not produce any eggs, it will not produce any feathers. If there were a chicken and a rooster over here, they would also not reproduce at all either. Now the rooster that we've removed from the chicken hut, it has until the end of the season for it to despawn. So here over on the animal management tab, you'll have similar icons to your personal management tab, where you can see no house and no food icons, just as you would if you had a homeless human individual. So you see that one of them has no food, one of them has no house and no food. But the important distinction here is that unlike the humans, these do not have a mood indicator. So here you see on the townsfolk section, all of the people have a mood indicator, and if they reach negative 100%, they leave. The animal section does not have any kind of mood indicator. So if you were to, at the very beginning of a season, pick up any sort of animals and not have any acceptable building for them to live in, they will still linger around perfectly acceptable until the end of the season. So depending on how many days you've set your season to, you have that long until you have to build them a house to live in. This chicken over here, however, will be perfectly content to live in here indefinitely and will not have any sort of starving to death mechanic happen in there. You're free to assign a worker here and assign food to this location at any point. Just note that this is costing you taxes, and this chicken will not produce any feathers or eggs until you have food and employees assigned to this location. And then to get rid of these icons, all we have to do is reinstate all of these chickens back into their locations. And then all of our animals are nice and happy again. So I hope this video cleared up some questions about how the animals work and how they operate. I hope this helps you run your town a little bit smoother and easier and how to handle the goods and services that are coming in and out. If you like what you saw here, maybe give it a like. If you want to see more, please subscribe. Thank you. This is Seven.